But Brian, we got to talk about something, and I know this is going to be hard for the listeners to believe, but you are more on the GQ beat than I am, the Gentleman's Quarterly. You're more living in that world than I am, because I don't dress up anymore. I'm not worried about being stylish or anything like that. But no, because a lot of people think
I don't get my style from GQ magazine, thank you.
well, but you're more tuned into that type of thing.
I'm a sexy
the fashion
man.
and
I'm a very sexy man.
You're a sexy man, and people wear sexy things, that type of, because a lot of people have misconstrued you.
Oh,
because they think you have a deep man's voice, and when you get cracked up at our frivolity, you have a deep, hearty guffaw that sometimes borders on full-fledged, that type of thing, and people think that for that reason, and you bellow about the mothership. They think you're a Falstaffian figure.
Oh.
A rotund, Victor Bueno body type. But in actuality, I know that at least the last time I saw you, and it has been a while, the last kid may have ruined your figure. But you've been a very physically fit and trim and desirable looking male figure. So I don't know why people think that part of it is that accent. You sound. Oh. People say you sound like Bubba Ray Dudley.
I have a fat guy accent. I understand now. No, it's true, ladies and gentlemen. It is true. Whatever this man says, I am big and fat. I live in the basement. I've never met a woman, let alone touched a woman, and I play a lot of video games.
How'd you have them fucking kids then? Have you checked with the milkman?
I'm trying to raise some money. I want to get a PS5 if anyone could help out.
Well, you want to get a public school?
No, PlayStation.
Oh.
Get with the now, Grandpa.
Well, that was the whole point of this preamble.
But yeah, by the way, what is the topic that started with you picking on me? What the fuck is this?
No, I'm not picking on you. I'm saying that you know more about GQ. They call it Gentleman's Quarterly.
Do they?
Now, that's what the full title is. Where do you think GQ came from? Gentleman's Quarterly. That's the way it started.
The newsstand. Where do you think?
Well, so the point is since you are somewhat of a gentleman, even though, I get laid quarterly, I tell you. So I figured you would be more in on this. I wanted you to research this for me. Dwayne Johnson was on the cover. The Rock, for those of you who don't know him by his professional name, he's the Entertainer of the Year in GQ magazine, and he cuts a stylish figure in his $500 white T-shirt. And I thought you have researched this. We're going to go over the claims that they have made about The Rock here in this article.
Hold on, let me try to stop this video that's automatically playing on this page, which is just more of the fluff that is in this article. As you were saying, GQ magazine has named Dwayne Johnson roided up phony of the year.
Oh, come on now.
He was in competition with only himself.
He's out there fly fishing with a white guy. That's pretty fly for a white guy.
Before we say anything about the content of the article here, some of these photos, these ridiculous fucking photos in here, I mean, we shouldn't take them seriously, right? He's posing for the fashionistas who read GQ magazine. This is not anything we should not just mock.
We're not talking about audience of Waylon and Willie and the boys here.
This one over here in the red, he's wearing Virgil's pants.
Well, I'm trying to. What is the blue? He's got a blue. It doesn't appear to be leather. It looks like it might be inflatable, but a blue jacket with baggy black shorts, but with apparently black hose. It would be leggings and the tennis shoes. And he looks like Darby Allin if he had, some type of color coordination. But there's a picture of with your doggy. Oh, he's got the beautiful little puppy doggy.
Once again, the male J-Lo. The video that's playing here, I put up the captions just because I'm not going to play it right now. In August of 2024, Dwayne Johnson invited GQ writer Zach Barron to his farm in Virginia. Because that's the move, you know? It can't be like, meet me in LA or meet me in Miami, meet me in all the places where I show off my wealth and the usual ways. Meet me so I can show you the down-to-earth me, the farm me. Down on the farm in Virginia. Get the fuck out of here. What is this shit? You ever think of him as this farm guy in Virginia?
Yeah, farm guy in Virginia.
That's why he's showing up late for his fucking movie roles. He's milking the cows.
He can't make his connections because he's out there too far from the airport. I'm still like, oh, and there's the puppy doggy again. He's the sweater is by Extreme Cashmere. The pants are by Balenciaga. But who the puppy dog by? Oh, the puppy's so cute. Yeah, okay, I love him. Now, anybody that takes pictures with dogs, it's fine.
All right, I don't know.
He can be a douchebag.
I don't know if any of these quotes from this.
Wait a minute. Why is he doing Bruce Springsteen? Bruce Springsteen, with the one down at the bottom.
Oh, hold on, let me
Picture
scroll.
where he's got his back to the camera and he has a strategically placed bandana in his right ass cheek pocket.
Well, that's to show that he's with the working man. He's with the working class, the class that he isn't. He's with them, though. He supports them in the Born in the USA 1984 kind of spirit. You know, just put on a white T-shirt and a bandana and, hey, America, you know, big eagles and trucks and dirt. Lots of dirt and beer.
Lots of dirt.
Beer, mountains and beer and birds. Yeah, you know, all that shit.
But it's tequila.
Oh, yeah, that's the move now. Like, that's what we need. More tequila from more bullshit brands.
No, he's already got tequila.
I know. He has his bullshit tequila brand that no one wants.
Now, are you a tequila connoisseur?
No, I think tequila sucks.
See, now you put me in a position.
Tequila. That's what I think. It's tequila.
I got to take up for a guy that's worth $500 million here because you're just being so unfair.
Come on.
You just beating him. You just kicking him while he's down. You won't even read some of the articles to see if he can indeed bury himself with his own douchebaggery instead of you just preemptively doing it.
Every time he has a sip of his own tequila, it disappears for 4 months.
Hey, come on.
All right, well, let's get to this. I've not read this article. I've heard about it, but I've not read it because...
that's what, see, you're knocking him already. You haven't even read the article.
I'm knocking him from the video because then I'm going to see if the article has the quotes that are in this video as he's sitting on his porch here on his farm in Virginia. Because
and also it's a wonderful railing, the deck, you know, there with the trees in the background. It looks like any moment, Ma and Pa Kettle will come around the corner with an apple pie. And I think it's a good thing that his interviewer is dressed in a white T-shirt also, because since he weighs 140 pounds less, it kind of makes Rock look better. So they've staged that well. And the fly fishing is impeccable.
Unbelievable, this bullshit. Sometimes I have my driver take me into town so I could say hello to the normal people.
Is it supposedly this his farm? He owns this place? Did he buy this just for the goddamn interview?
Well, again, maybe I am being unfair. Maybe now you're being unfair. Let's go to the article here. This is the GQ video cover story. A feature that delivers, and this is just plug in GQ. He was Man of the Year. They named him the Man of the Year. It's not that Dwayne Johnson is tall, though he is. About 6 feet 4 inches and broad. With a, what is this? Adamantine? I don't know this word.
Adamantine bald head? Maybe it's hydroencephalic, like we were talking about earlier.
And sculptural shoulders.
So automatically we know this is going to be a very critical article.
It's not that he is part Samoan, part black, though he is that too. It's not that Johnson is what Hollywood likes to euphemistically call the most successful movie star alive, meaning most years the highest paid. It's that these things, the shape of the man, his parents, his professional ascendants, have combined in a singular way to make him recognizable at more or less any distance. Because of this, Johnson struggles, in the most prosaic sense, to be alone.
He wants to be alone.
He can count the number of places available to him for solitude on 3 mighty fingers. And does. He could sit inside his truck, which he likes to drive to set no matter what city he is in part because his silhouette is less noticeable behind the wheel of a car. He can go to his gym, or he can come here to the generous property he owns in rural Virginia, with a 3-acre pond, a horse barn, and green hills and a Victorian-style house of slightly exaggerated Dwayne Johnson-esque proportions.
So he does own it. Well, son of a bitch, he's way too rich, isn't he?
Is this already way too fluffy? I mean, I'm having fun with it, but...
My God, this is... And yeah, we can't have fun with it word for word because it goes on like that forever.
And this is why men don't read GQ magazine.
I know not only is it not in any way, and I'm not saying that he should be, tied and pilloried in the town square by some magazine, but this is a fluff piece if I ever heard one, and it's so glowingly written as to be, goddamn, you're getting diabetic. You're getting sugar diabetes, as Mama Cornette would have said, from just reading this thing.
It immediately paints him as a sympathetic figure. Immediately. That's the onset of the article. Have sympathy for this man. His silhouette is too noticeable. As he's filming himself in the parking lot of In-N-Out Burger, don't think, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Think he's so lonely that he doesn't even remember if he's been here before for a hamburger. That is true loneliness, folks. I'll let you take the next paragraph here.
Well, no, I mean, we can't read this.
No, you have to. You have to, I think.
It's so long.
All right, I'll do it.
It's so
Anywhere
long.
else, Johnson says, and he's probably surrounded by people. Other actors, directors, executives, business people, employees, fans, journalists, children, wife, and ex-wife. Here's a quote from Dwayne Johnson. I feel like the moment I walk out the door, that's when the whirlwind starts. He is mostly okay with this. When I asked Johnson, who used to regularly perform live in sold-out arenas as a professional wrestler known as The Rock, Johnson's first real career, and the thing that made him famous, whether he is comfortable around other people, he seems genuinely confused about the question. Oh yeah, Johnson says, for sure. Like, am I an asshole? And now this is the writer again, not Dwayne Johnson. In my experience, no. Johnson is in fact famous for remembering your name and your kid's name and your kid's grandparents' names, aka the names of your parents, whom he wishes well in their next chapter of retirement, etc. See, hold on, let me stop there. This is a puff piece that Dwayne Johnson arranged to counteract the negative stories about him earlier in the year. Do you agree with that?
I would have to think that he at least negotiated a friendly reporter for GQ magazine to assess this situation here. Because continuing with the writer, he observes closely, asks a lot of questions. His art is the art of being himself. There's only one guy remotely like him, and that guy would love to get to know you and have you know him in turn. I mean, yes, he's obviously a very personable movie star, so he's going to be nice to the reporters, but I've never, again, seen this level of just adoration for, if they interviewed the Pope, for fuck's sake, would they be talking like this? Well, no, the Pope's done some really nasty shit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking for the part I heard about. Here it is. Just to skip ahead a little bit. Before I got to the WWE, I wrestled in a small wrestling company called the USWA. Those were the days where I was making $40 per match wrestling in flea markets and used car dealerships in the parking lot. But guaranteed $40. I ate Waffle House 3 times a day. What you learn there in cutting your teeth in that world of pro wrestling at that level is to do your best to send everybody home happy. Years later, Johnson says, when I got into the business of Hollywood and... I'm sorry.
When I got into the business of Hollywood.
When I got into the business of Hollywood and movie making, it's like, okay, well, what kind of movies do I want to make? I want to make movies that hopefully are good, that don't suck, but also reach as many people as possible. And I think the thing that a lot of people jumped on, and this is my first time seeing the actual quote, was his description of struggling on the indies for $40 a match in the USWA. When he was in the USWA, he was under a WWE deal already, wasn't he? Flex Cavana?
Yes, but I'm trying to recall if I know how much they may have been paying him at that point in time. Because this was 1996 in Memphis. In 1999, they were giving out developmental deals of like $300, $500 a week. So yes, he was getting $40 from Randy Hales because that was the minimum.
But he was also getting paid by Vince. This is some Paul Heyman math here.
But yeah, but he was also, and it may not have been much. It may have been $500 or whatever. But yeah, he had a contract.
I made $40 per match plus my $500 per diem. But again, it's he's Man of the Year, and it appears that on the back of the release of his new movie, which debuted at #1 and was also destroyed by critics. I saw that the couple of reviews here in New York just destroyed the fucking show. You'd never see anything as brutal. But here he is trying to, I guess, put more of the Dwayne Johnson fluff out there. Well, Jim, we have to also talk about what was in those articles early in the year that caused him to need some positive spin as this big Christmas movie comes out.
Well, this has been on the show here. Probably the biggest rock-related controversy is, does he or does he not urinate in water containers? Pee in a bottle. Pee in a bottle. It was like the Police song, right? And we've been trying to find out some kind of corroboration here, and they addressed this practice or this rumor or whatever. They addressed it.
Well, Jim, of course, he responded to some of these stories from, what was it, The Wrap earlier this year?
The Wrap.
About his peeing in bottles. No confirmation if Brian Gewirtz is the person carrying these bottles, but...
Well, they said a lot of things. They said he was late. Yeah, the crew and the cast was frustrated. They cost the production money. And then also they said he peed in the bottle.
But it wasn't just late. It was like... Was it 12 hours late? It was
chronically late.
It was like a ridiculous amount of money. Amount of time he was late. Yeah.
He came in at 3:00 in the morning. He was supposed to be there for lunch. That type of thing.
In decades of public life, most celebrities will at some point wander into a scandal. Real or manufactured. But it took all the way until 2024 for Johnson to meaningfully find one. Earlier this year, the online trade publication The Wrap published a piece alleging that Johnson was chronically late to the set of Red One, frustrating his fellow cast and crew, and costing the production what The Wrap suggested was a considerable amount of money.
See, to here again, most celebrities will at some point wander into a scandal, real or manufactured, but it took all the way until the time they caught him. The Wrap alleged, the Wrap suggested, their GQ ain't standing behind their fellow yellow journalists, are they?
The piece also alleged, as Johnson helpfully supplies to me himself, that, quote, I pee in a bottle while working. A beat? Yeah, that happens. What about the late part of the story? Yeah, that happens too. But not that amount, by the way. That was a bananas amount. That's crazy. Ridiculous. Johnson says that overall, The controversy was bullshit. And now's the part where everyone who works on this film that they're actively promoting right now has to say nice things about him. The male J-Lo. Every part of this is manufactured.
But what about the puppy?
Is it his dog? Does it say it's his dog?
I don't know. I hope it is. But I mean, well, here's the Evans fellow, the co-star. Is that Chris Evans or Bob Evans? Maybe it's Bob Evans.
I think it's Chris Evans, the co-star.
But yeah, he says nice things about him. And then some other people say nice things about him. Then he says some more nice things about himself. Well, this is an amazing piece.
All right. Oh, I'm watching the video now. Here's him fishing with the writer.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the fishing alone right there, that I'm telling you, that won Middle America over.
And I'm watching this interview, and just the interview is so... Because again, everything Dwayne Johnson does is performing for a camera, and we know that because everything we see is him performing for a camera. So it's just more of the usual bullshit.
Boy, I tell you what, it will never be over. Until The Rock couldn't put you down with a steel-toed boot, Brian. Couldn't put you out with a steel-toed boot. And it will never be over.
I've got knives up the gazoo. I can throw them.
Boy, no wonder you're in such a mood today if you've got knives up the gazoo or the wazoo. What is it up of yours?
Well, is there a difference between wazoo and gazoo? I guess there is.
Well, yes, because the great Gazoo from the Flintstones would like to have a word with you. Nobody ever compared him to an asshole.